Hey guys, this is my review of the new Zoids Wild Sniptera. You know how this goes. I'm going to unbox the kit, we'll check it out in action, and I'll show you some comparisons to previous winged Zoids models as well.
RoboShop.
Alright, so let's take a look at the box. Nothing too out of the ordinary here, of course. The Sniptera is a flying Zoid, so we have a down shot with this sort of, I don't know, bombed out sort of military compound here. A couple more Snipteras in the background. The usual stuff on the back. The three modes probably right on the side here. The box is a little big. Actually, yeah, that brings up the most important point I need to make about this box, other than what's on here, is that this box is quite a bit bigger than I expected it to be. This is actually sort of a medium-sized Zoids Wild type box. So I guess this Zoid is bigger than we expected it to be. Although if you look here, you can see the size of the pilot here on the box image, so you get a pretty good idea of the wingspan of this thing. Anyway, let's take a look what we got in here. Of course, our usual pixel camo insert that we know to expect by now. Instructions. A, B, S. Nothing else in here but the gearbox. So this is, of course, your standard Zoids Wild battery-powered gearbox. Let's take a look at these bags. The A bag doth containeth two bags. This is a whole bunch of gunmetal colored stuff in here. Come on, spit them out. Get rid of that. Actually, not all that. Whoa, okay. Very little, in fact. Yeah, this is obviously the torso halves. These are huge. I mean, you see here, I mean, obviously it has sort of a, you know, a bird-like rib cage here. That is mostly what accounts for it being so big. This would be one of the arms. Would you call them arms? Well, that the wing's attached to anyway. There's the other one. Just one of whatever this is. I'm guessing some sort of neck mechanism. Oh no, there's two. Sorry. Yeah, there's two of these. So in that case, if I had to guess, probably more stuff that goes on the arms, because this thing doesn't really seem to have much in the way of legs. Here's the lower jaw. This is the top half of the head, obviously. The Sniptera, like other more recent models, has eyes on its skeleton, but then it has a visor that covers them up. I was going to say a whole lot of silver parts here, but let me get them out of the bag and see how many it actually is before I make any more claims that I immediately have to take back. Okay, there's a large piston here. All this stuff that forms these kind of silly looking legs, wheels that it apparently has. Yeah, it's mostly pretty uninteresting looking mechanical stuff, to be honest. I'm guessing these are the feet. The fascinating little piston piece, another fascinating rod, a fascinating, I don't know. There's some detail on this one. Yeah, this is all mechanical stuff. There's two of these apparently. Curious to see how complex the movement is, since there's so much stuff here that seems to purely exist to make the movement work. Anyway, B. Seems to be more than usual. Okay, this goes on the wings. Oh. Let's see if I can resist painting these. I mean, it's got these air intakes that, of course, are molded in the same color as the rest of the wings that really, in my opinion, should be gunmetal. More for the wings. It's kind of unusual, actually, sort of design-wise. I mean, you've got the, the pegs with these sort of little grooves here and like these little holes that sort of stylized rivets, but the panel lines here actually look more like what you'd expect on an aircraft kit. It doesn't really look like like the other Zoids Wild kits design-wise. Here we have the head, which I have to say, like, it really looks more like something from a plane than a dinosaur head, which is cool. I like that. More mechanical, less organic, works for me. These are the guns. Wow. Okay. I can't remember who and where, but I remember someone complaining about the design of these guns because on the pictures that we saw previously, they didn't really look like anything. Well, look at that. I mean, they're kind of, the details kind of crappy, but these are Gatling guns. The Sniptera comes with 2 Gatling guns, folks. Don't know what this is. And finally, in the bag, which is S, we have, come on, need a bigger knife to open these bags. So here are the eyes, silver. Let me show you the sticker sheet right away this time, so I don't have to edit that into the video again afterwards. Yeah, 2nd generation Zoids Wild sticker sheet, whole bunch of warning stickers. A little pictogram that depicts the Zoid itself, apparently being aimed at by a bullseye that it's simultaneously flying through or something. Numbers, yeah. And then, I don't know how much of this I should take out of the back. This is just a bunch of mechanical pieces and levers. We have a standard pilot and very yellow caps. Sure, the new style caps with the rivets on them. Yeah, there's really no interesting detail in any of this, so I'm just going to leave it in here because that'll make it faster for me when I'm building this in a second. Which is my segue into telling you that I will now turn off the camera, build this thing, and then we're going to check it out in action. So, first off, here it is in walking mode. It looks surprisingly okay folded up like this, but the movement is not too impressive. Now, here's how you switch between modes. First, you fold out the wings. Now, because of the walking movement, the wings aren't positioned evenly in this mode, and the solution to this is maybe my favorite thing about this kit. There's a mechanism here in the wheel that allows you to center this lever, so it's in the same position as the other one. Now, the next thing to do is to get the legs in position, and you're good to go. Sorry for the crummy footage, but this thing is difficult to get on camera because of its wingspan. Anyway, as you can see, it really moves on these big wheels in the chest as the wings flap. Now, normally I'm not a fan of wheels on Zoids not named Tank, but this actually works really well. The movement is very fluid, and if you pay attention, you can see the torso moves up as the wings push down, which is exactly what would actually happen in flight. I didn't think I'd say this, but it's pretty cool. Now for some comparisons. First off, here's the Storm Sorter. The two are about the same size and wingspan, but obviously the Storm Sorter is much sleeker looking because it's mostly covered in armor. Design-wise, the Sniptera is actually closer to this guy. Zark if you're from Europe like me, but he's more commonly known as Terrace because he's also meant to be a Pteranodon. They're both very mechanical looking, but of course the Sniptera is a lot bigger. And finally, this guy has another gimmick I haven't shown you yet. The horn on its head folds forward to serve as a cannon that apparently has sights, and there's a gun inside its mouth as well. This Zoid isn't lacking in firepower, that's for sure. Now, for the purposes of this review, I'll tell you what you need to know. The engineering on this kit is fantastic. It's one of the simplest builds in the entire Zoids Wild line, yet it manages to have two completely different moving modes that you can switch back and forth between in seconds. Compare that to the Knuckle Kong, where it's practically a transformation, and you really have to give Takara Tomy credit for how far they've come with the design in this line. This is also the first winged Zoid in the entire history of the line that doesn't walk like a confused chicken flapping its wings. The Storm Sorter also had two modes, but it's executed far better here because it walks like a Pteranodon actually would have, and it doesn't move its legs when it's flying. I'm just really still a bit torn about the looks of this thing. Part of me wants to like it because it's so mechanical looking, but it's also just, it's just ugly, isn't it? And to be perfectly honest, as much as I'm impressed by the two walking modes, I do think it came at a pretty serious cost to the model's appearance. As a toy though, and that's what Zoids are, it's fantastic. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're into Zoids for the movement and the engineering, you really should get this one, but just as a display piece, I'm not so sure. Anyway, that's it for this one, folks. I think what's on the schedule for the next 2 weeks is reviews of NJR models, and then I should hopefully have a nice little Machine and Krieger diorama to show you guys. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, take a look at my Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one.